Hi everyone, my name is Laura and I'm going to tell you a story about a dragon, some rubber boots, and a birthday cake. In a land far, far from here, in a land called Dragonland, there was a dragon named Lee. Now Lee loved being a dragon. They loved their giant wings. Can you flap your dragon wings? Yeah. And wings down. And Lee loved their shiny, shimmery dragon skin that glistened in both the moonlight and the sunlight. But there was one thing that Lee did not like about being a dragon, and that was that Lee could not breathe fire. Oh no. And it gave Lee so much trouble. But luckily, Lee always carried a handy pack of matches, and so Lee never had to worry too much. But one day, all across Dragonland, posters went up advertising the annual marshmallow roasting competition. And Lee thought, oh no, this is the year that I can finally compete in the marshmallow roasting competition. Everyone's going to know that I can't breathe fire. What am I going to do? Thought Lee. Must think of something. Well, fire is hot. Maybe if I eat something hot, then I will be able to breathe fire. What could I eat that's hot? Does anybody have an idea? Put up a hand. Yes, my friend right there. A pepper. So Lee went to the dragon grocery store and got the spiciest, largest pepper they could find. And they took the pepper. Oh, I might regret this, thought Lee. And Lee took a deep bite. Oh, the steam came out of Lee's ears. Oh no. And Lee took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. No fire. What's another something that's hot that I could eat and I might be able to breathe fire? Yes. My friend right here. Yeah. You in the black shirt. Yeah.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce. Maybe there wasn't enough pepper. I need all the peppers jammed into a hot sauce bottle. And so Lee went down the grocery store aisle to the hot sauce section and took a bottle of hot sauce, unscrewed the lid. Oh, thought Lee, I might regret this. And Lee took a big gulp, 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 and they drank the whole bottle of hot sauce. Oh, now Lee's belly was starting to hurt, and Lee took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. No fire. Oh, what am I going to do? I need another idea. I need something hot that I could eat. Yes. Some more peppers. All right, some more peppers. And maybe, does anyone else have another idea we can add to the peppers? Yes.
So maybe we could add everything.
Everything in a pot. What about a big chili? Could Lee make a big chili? Oh, okay. We're gonna make a chili. So Lee went home with the bottle of hot sauce, but maybe 3 bottles of hot sauce, and 3 of the spiciest peppers the store had. And they went home and they mixed and they stirred their big vat of chili, and it was bubbling, and it almost looked as if there was fire on the surface of the pot. Oh, thought Lee, this is going to hurt. And so Lee took a spoonful of the chili. Not hot enough. Lee took another sip and another spoonful until all the chili was gone. Oh, thought Lee, this is going to hurt. And they took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. No fire. And that was it. Lee was out of ideas. Oh, thought Lee, I just have to go. And so Lee packed a bag and put the bag on their shoulder and walked out of Dragonland. And so Lee packed a bag and Lee wandered over through the valleys and up the hills and down the hills and swam across the rivers and lakes and streams until Lee came to a forest not far from here. And Lee sat down near a tree and started to eat a jelly sandwich. And now as Lee was sitting and eating their jelly sandwich, up hopped a little something. And this something tapped Lee on the shoulder and looked up and said, "What are you?" And Lee said, "I'm a dragon. What are you?" "I'm a bunny," said the bunny, "and my name's Robin." "Well," said Lee, "it's nice to meet you." And the bunny said, "Do you like to play hide and go seek?" And Lee said, "I love to play hide and go seek." And so the two new friends started to play hide and go seek. 1, 2, 3, ready or not, here I come. The first person to hide was Lee. Now, do you think it was easy for Lee to hide in a forest or difficult? Difficult, because Lee is a really big dragon. And so Lee was standing behind a tree, and Robin hopped up and said, "Found you." Next to count was Lee, and Lee counted 1, 2, 3, ready or not, here I come. And that was really tricky for Lee to find Robin, because Robin was such a little bunny. And the two friends spent the whole afternoon playing hide and go seek. And Robin said, "Would you like to come back to my house for some hot chocolate?" "Oh," said Lee, "I would love that a lot." And so the two friends sat and drank some hot chocolate. And Lee told Robin all about being a dragon and about how they couldn't breathe fire. And Robin said, "Well, I like you just the way you are. I think you're wonderful." "Well, thank you," said Lee. Now, later that day, the two friends were playing hide and go seek again. And this time, it was Lee's turn to count. And so Lee was counting. 1, 2, 3. "Oh, help me! Don't hurt me!" "Oh no," thought Lee. "Robin's in trouble." And so Lee started to run through the forest looking for Robin. And there in a clearing was Robin the bunny, and an animal with a red fluffy tail. Does anyone know what this animal was? It was a fox. And the fox looked at Robin like they would make a very yummy lunch. "Oh no," thought Lee, "I have to do something." And so Lee ran into the clearing and said, "Stop! Don't hurt my friend." And then the fox said, "Well, what are you going to do to stop me?" "Well," said Lee, well, I'm a fire-breathing dragon." And the fox said, "Oh yeah? Show me." "Oh no," thought Lee, "what am I going to do? I'm not actually a fire-breathing dragon." But Lee thought of Robin and thought of the fox. And so Lee took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And what do you think came out? Fire! "Oh, said the fox, whose tail was scorched, and the fox ran out of there. Said Robin, "Lee, you did it, you breathed fire." "I did," said Lee. "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." And so Robin said, do it again." "Oh, I don't know if I could," said Lee. But Lee took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And out came fire. "Oh," said Robin, "you have to go back to Dragonland. You have to go back and compete in the annual marshmallow roasting competition." "Oh, I don't know if I could. What if I can't breathe fire again?" And Robin said, well, I'm coming with you." And so Robin packed up their things and hopped on Lee's back. And the two friends flew this time over lakes and rivers and up mountains and down mountains and across fields and valleys just in time to sign up for the annual marshmallow roasting competition. And then when they got there, it was the next day, and they were signing up to do the marshmallow roasting competition. And the stands were filled with all of the dragons who were really excited about the marshmallow roasting competition. There were big dragons and small dragons and medium-sized dragons, and everyone in the stands was going wild. But there was someone in the stands who didn't seem like they belonged, for they were small and they were fluffy, and they had a big sign that said, "Go, Lee, go!" Who do you think it was? Robin. And there was Lee standing at the bottom, a little bit nervous. And then the first dragon to go was a big dragon with green spikes down their back and yellow spots. And they took their stick and they took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And they charred their marshmallow black, and the crowd went wild. Then the next to go was a dragon with purple polka dots all over, and they had a shiny pink fringe, and they went up with their stick, and they blew spots, almost like polka dots, all over their marshmallow, and the crowd went wild. Then it was Lee's turn, and Lee walked up and held their stick and got a bit nervous, and then looked up and saw Robin in the audience going, "Go, Lee, go!" And Lee took a deep breath in and a deep breath out and roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd went wild! And now there were a few more to go. And at the very end, it was time for the judges to announce the winner. And so they said, in third place, it is the green spiky dragon's burnt marshmallow. Woo! And in second place, with a very creative touch, is the marshmallow with the polka dots. And in first place, for the first time ever, with the most beautiful marshmallow we've ever seen, Lee the Dragon! And the crowd went wild, but no one was as loud as Robin the Bunny, who was cheering from the stands. And that is my story of Lee the Dragon. Thank you. All right. My friends, I have another story for you. Now, this story is about a girl named Jennifer. And Jennifer lives in a city not far from here. And Jennifer's pretty happy about most things. But there's something that makes her a little bit miserable, and that's being a middle child. Is anyone here either a middle or a second born or a third born? Okay. There are great things about being a middle child, but there is something about being a middle child that Jennifer despises, and that is hand-me-downs. Has anyone ever got hand-me-downs? Just put up a quiet hand. And then the hand-me-downs means you get clothing from your older sibling. And so Jennifer particularly didn't like hand-me-downs because of Jennifer's older brother, John. Now, John was really hard on clothes. John was always getting into things, so his clothes had holes and mud all over them. And because of this, Jennifer's mother always bought the most durable clothing for John. And because she bought the most durable clothing for John, that meant that all the clothes got passed on to Jennifer. And now this wouldn't be so bad except for the rubber boots. Jennifer hated getting John's rubber boots because they were big and bulky and black. Oh, every year Jennifer would go to her mother and say, "Please, Mother, could I have my own pair of rubber boots?" And her mother would say, "No, Jennifer, these rubber boots are perfectly good. They keep your feet dry, and that's the most important thing." "Oh," said Jennifer. And so every time it would rain, Jennifer would put on her black, durable rain boots and walk to school. She didn't even have the heart to jump in any puddles. But one year, Jennifer was getting a little bit bigger, and the boots were getting a little bit too tight. And so Jennifer said, "Oh, please, Mom, could I have my own rubber boots? These ones are getting a little bit too tight. I need my own rubber boots. Everyone at school has the most amazing boots. They have rainbow boots and sparkly boots. Oh, some have rain boots with pictures on the sides. Oh, please, Mommy, could I have a new pair of rubber boots? And her mother said, no, Jennifer. These rain boots are perfectly good. They keep your feet dry, and that's the most important thing. And every day that week, Jennifer said, oh, please, Mommy, could I have some new rubber boots? And her mother would say, no, Jennifer, these rain boots are perfectly good, and they keep your feet dry, which is the most important thing. Well, I don't know what happened, but one day, Jennifer's mother said, fine, I give up. You can have your own rubber boots. Really, said Jennifer. Yes, said her mother, but on one condition. There's no more complaining about hand-me-downs. Oh, said Jennifer, I promise, I will not complain about hand-me-downs ever again if I get my own rubber boots. And so Jennifer and her mom that evening went to the shoe store to try on rubber boots. She tried on the rainbow rubber boots. She tried on the sparkly ones. And she tried on the rubber boots with pictures up the side. But there was one pair of rubber boots on the shelf that were white and sparkled and the opposite of durable. Jennifer tried on those white rubber boots and looked at herself in the mirror and thought, these are the one. Oh, Mommy, please could I have these white rubber boots? And her mother said, all right, but remember, there's no complaining about hand-me-downs. Yes, I remember. And so Jennifer took the box of rubber boots home. And she brought it up to her room, and she looked at the boots. They just felt so smooth and new, and they had that new rubber smell. She tried them on and looked at herself in the mirror and said, oh, I look fantastic in these boots. Cannot wait to wear them. And so that night, Jennifer wished, and she wished for rain. Well, wouldn't you know it? But the next morning, it started to rain. And it wasn't just a light rain, it was a torrential rain. Oh, said Jennifer, this is going to be great. Jennifer gobbled up her oatmeal, threw on her raincoat and her new white rubber boots, and ran out the door. Now, on Jennifer's way to school, she had to jump in every puddle, on every corner. Amazing! My feet are dry and they look so great. And at every puddle, oh my, look at this. These are the best boots ever. And as Jennifer walked to school, she came across the bridge that went over her favorite creek. She looked at the creek and thought, on my way home, I need to test out my boots in that creek. And so Jennifer went to school, and she sat there and she looked out the window at the pouring rain all day, and she couldn't wait for school to end. And then when the bell rang, she put on her raincoat and put on her boots and ran out the door. And she jumped in every puddle on every corner. And as she got to the creek was a lot bigger than it was in the morning because it had been raining all day. Oh, thought Jennifer, this is going to be good. And so Jennifer put one foot into the creek. Yep, still dry. Put another foot into the creek. Still dry. And she jumped. Oh, still dry. And she started to walk and splash in the creek. And all of a sudden, something happened. My boot is stuck. Oh no, thought Jennifer. And she pulled, but she couldn't get her boot unstuck. What am I going to do? And she saw a small tree on the side, and she pulled herself against the tree, and out came her foot. Oh no, thought Jennifer, what am I going to do? My boot is still in the muck. And as Jennifer was thinking about how to get her boot out of the muck, something happened. The creek that had been filling and rushing all day started to swirl around her boot and picked it up and started to carry it down the creek. Oh no, thought Jennifer, and Jennifer started to go after it. But if anyone has ever tried to run in water before, it is not easy. It's like running through the thickest of mud. So Jennifer was trying to run through the water to catch her boot when all of a sudden she realized where she was heading. For at the end of the creek was a fence that led under a tunnel under the highway. Oh no, thought Jennifer, I need to get my boot. And she ran as fast as she could in the fast running water. And as she reached out and she just barely grabbed her boot, but she missed, and the boot went through a boot-sized hole in the fence and under the highway. Oh no, thought Jennifer, what have I done? And so Jennifer got out of the creek with one boot on and one boot off and walked all the way home. She didn't jump in every puddle on every corner. And as she opened the door home and her mother saw her there with one boot on and one boot off, and she just shook her head and handed her her brother's black durable rain boots. And that's the story of the rubber boots. One day in a forest not far from here, it was Wolf's birthday. And now Wolf was Owl's best friend in the whole wide world, so Owl knew that they had to do something special for Wolf. But Owl could not find the recipe for Grandma's special rainbow cake. And Owl was searching everywhere in their house. They were looking under and over and in, when finally they found it. And there it was on a recipe card tucked inside a book. And it said, Grandma's rainbow birthday cake. And so Owl read the recipe card. It called for 1 red thing, 2 orange things, 3 yellow things, 4 green things, 5 blue things, and 6 purple things. And Owl said, I think I can remember that. And so Owl grabbed the recipe card in one wing and a bag in the other and headed off into the forest. And the first thing on the list was 1 red thing. And they looked and they came across a patch of wild strawberries. Oh, thought Owl, this will be perfect for the birthday cake. And so Owl ate a few for themselves and then put the juiciest strawberry in their bag. Perfect. Check. 1 red thing. Now, what was next? Oh, yes, 2 orange things. And so Owl went and started looking for 2 orange things. They looked high and they looked low, but they couldn't find anything. But then right around a corner of a tree, they saw some chanterelle mushrooms. Now, they needed to check in their trusty mushroom guide that these were for sure the chanterelle mushrooms. Oh yes, definitely it matches. And so Owl very carefully took how many? 2 chanterelle mushrooms and put them in their bag. All right, we have 1 red thing, 2 orange things, so we need 3 yellow things. And so Owl thought, yellow things, what am I going to find? But, well, let's walk and see. And so Owl started to walk through the forest looking for 3 yellow things when they came across a yellow crab apple tree in the forest, and they thought, oh, perfect. And they picked 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow crab apples and pop, 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 pop in. Oh, 3. Oh my goodness. 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for correcting me. Pop, pop, pop into their bag. And then they looked at the recipe card. I guess I should be paying attention. 1 red thing, 2 orange things, 3 yellow things, and 4 green things. Green things. Well, there's a lot of green things in a forest, but I think I know a special thing that will be delicious. And so Owl went flying through the forest, right, to a rocky patch. And in this patch was a bunch of wintergreen. And if nobody's ever heard of wintergreen is the most amazing plant that when you taste a little bit, it tastes like the most minty bubble gum that you've ever had. So, you've had wintergreen before? And so Owl picked 1 piece, 2 pieces, how many? 3 pieces, 4 pieces of wintergreen and put them in their bag. Then they looked at the recipe card. 1 red thing, 2 orange things, 3 yellow things, 4 green things, and 5, who knows what color is next? Blue. Oh, I know what I'm going to get. And Owl, and Owl grabbed the recipe card and the bag and started to fly through the forest to the blueberry patch. And the blueberry patch was just bursting with the most delicious, ripest blueberries ever. And so Owl started to eat a few blueberries and maybe got a little carried away, but then remembered, oh wait, I need to put some in my bag. And so they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue things into the bag. And then all of a sudden, Owl looked around and realized, oh no, where's my recipe card? And Owl looked high, and Owl looked low, and in between the bushes, oh no, I can't find my recipe card. What am I going to do? And then Owl thought, well, it kind of follows a pattern, doesn't it? And if I remember the colors of the rainbow, what's the last color? Purple. And if I had 1 red thing, 2 orange things, 3 yellow things, 4 green things, 5 blue things, then I need 6 purple things. I have just the idea. And so Owl went all the way back to their house in the tree and noticed in their garden the most beautiful periwinkle and picked. It's a plant with a little purple flower. And so they picked the purple flowers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put them in their bag. And then they frantically went upstairs and started mixing and stirring and putting in their ingredients and put it in the oven. And then waited and waited. Bing! Out came the cake. And they decorated it and they kept the periwinkle flowers for the top and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 periwinkle flowers right on top. Yes, said Owl, this is just right. And went straight away over to Wolf's house and knocked on the door. And Wolf opened the door and Owl said, happy birthday, Wolf. Oh, said Wolf, this is the most beautiful birthday cake. Did you make it all yourself? Yes, said Owl, I did. And the 2 friends sat down in the forest and enjoyed the most delicious rainbow cake made with love. Thank you. That's the end.